Hello, Adam. Um, so, hello, everybody. Today we'll be talking about taking control in Excel using the new Excel function, Lambda, and Excel helper functions. So, today's speaker is Salif, and the Microsoft Excel learning community is being powered by UrBizEdge. So, UrBizEdge is a registered Microsoft consulting, financial modeling, business intelligence, data analyst, and enterprise solution firm in Nigeria. These are the upcoming trainings calendar. Okay, so today's speaker is Sally. He's from Morocco. He's also a financial analyst and a Microsoft Certified Trainer and Data Analyst. He's also the co-founder of DNS EXPERTS. DNS EXPERTS is a Morocco-based company that specializes in training certification in various Microsoft tools like Power BI, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and Access. So, hello, Sally.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. And yourself?
Okay. Yes, so you can share your screen.
Okay, I will. Can you hear my screen? Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yes.
Not yet.
No, it's clear. I can. You
Okay,
can.
yes, I can see it now.
You can see
Yeah, I
it?
can see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
So, hello everybody. Thank you for having me today again to talk about this interesting topic, the new Lambda function that we can use to create new function. So, I am Salif Sawadogo. I am a financial analyst, and also I am Microsoft Certified Trainer and Data Analyst. So today we are going to be talking about this topic, taking control in Excel using Lambda function and helper function. So if you can see my screen, we will talk about Lambda. Like I said, Lambda is a new function in Excel that we can use to create our own function. So this new function is available in Office 365, and I think you have to be a subscriber of Office Insider. So we will be using some example here to make you able to understand this function. So we're gonna start with the basic Lambda. After then we are going some practical way how we can use this Lambda, and we are going to see also the recursive Lambda. The recursive Lambda is something we can use to find and correct some text in a dataset, like this example. And at the end, we are going to see some helper function. The helper function is some function in Excel that we can use Lambda inside those functions to get some result. So let me start with the basic Lambda. So here I have a simple example, the company with revenue for 2021. And this is an example. This is not actually the real revenue of Facebook or Microsoft. So, for example, I have the revenue for 2021. If I want to know the revenue for 2022, and assuming a percentage change of 30%, so I can make a simple formula like taking, for example, the revenue of 2021 times 1 plus the 30%. Okay, that gives me 35,100 for the revenue in 2022. Let's fix this cell references and copy the formula down. So this formula is okay. If we are going to use this formula, one time in Excel. We don't have to use the Lambda function. But if we using this formula in other sheet, we can use Lambda to create a function that can allow us to use this function whenever we want. So instead of doing this, I'm going to create a function that going to allow me to make this calculation. So how Lambda function work? For example, here, let just delete all this and start over. For example, here, how Lambda function work is we have the cell reference, for example, for C5 and D2. For example, I'm going to make Lambda function here. For example, I put Lambda, and Lambda need parameter and calculation. Parameter, you can make put one parameter, 2, 3, whenever you want. And after that, you have to use those parameters in this calculation. For example, here I have two cell references. So I'm going to transform those cell references in parameter. For example, this first one, C5 and D2. So here I have to make two parameters. So I can come back at the beginning. For example, for the revenue of the last year, I can use R, for example, and the percentage change, the 30% I can use, for example, I don't know if I use I, using I. And then I have to change this cell reference to change it, replace it with the parameter. For example, the season is the revenue of the last year. So I'm going to use R year, and the D2, I replacing it with the I. So I close my Lambda function and hit enter. It's not gonna work because we have to put this in a cell name. For example, the define name. We have to go in formula tab and go to name manager and put this in a new define name. But we can make it work. For example, at the end of my function, I can open the parentheses and put, for example, the cell reference, the C5, comma, and this is the second parameter, the percentage change, and close my parentheses, and I got the same result. But I'm going to copy this first part of the formula and go to the name manager and put it in the define name. For example, I'm going to make a new function here. I can give it the name I want. For example, I'm going to make percent change. I can make a comment here to, if I come back later, I can know what this function work. And here refer to, and I can put my formula here and put OK. Close this box, and if I come back here, I can use my function. If I'm typing, this is percent change. I have two parameters. The first one is the revenue of the previous years, and the second parameter is the percentage change. And here I have to lock this cell with the F4, close my parentheses, and I got the same result. And I can copy my formula down. This is an example of using Lambda function. I got the second example here. For example, here I have revenue for 2020 and revenue for 2021. If I want to know the percentage change between these 2 years, I can use a simple formula here. For example, taking the revenue of 2022 divided by the revenue of 2020 minus 1, and I got 46%, and can copy my formula down. But if I want to use this formula one time in this my worksheet, I don't have to make this in Lambda function. But if I'm using this formula many times, I can make a function that can allow me to use this whenever I want it. So instead of doing a formula, I can create Lambda function here. So I can come back here and start typing my Lambda function. So here I have, let's go back. I have two cell reference here. I have the revenue of 2021 and revenue for 2020. So here, if I'm going to create my Lambda function, I have to create two parameters. So let's clean this and go back and start typing my Lambda function. Lambda. The parameter, I can give it the name I wanted. For example, for the revenue of 2021, I'm going to put it in. For the revenue of 2020, I'm going to use star, and the last one is I'm going to make the calculation. So n divided by star minus 1. I can close my Lambda function. It enter. It not gonna work. I have to copy this, go to name manager, and put it in a new defined name. For example, I can use a name I wanted. I don't know. I guess you give it the name and go here and pass my formula here and hit enter. Close this box. Can delete this, and this is my new function. The end. The order of the parameter is important. So you start with the n. The star, close my parentheses, and hit enter, and I got the same result. So this is a simple example of using the Lambda function. Here I got a second example. Here I'm going to use again the Lambda function to create, for example, I got a data set here, and I want, for example, to sort, for example, the list of the app by the sum of revenue. I can make it simple by, for example, creating the sum if function. For example, sum if the sum range gonna be the revenue column. The criteria range one gonna be the app, the list of the app, and the criteria. I'm going to get the unique list of the app. So I'm going to use another function here, the unique function, and take it. Close my parentheses for the unique function, close my parentheses for the sum if function, hit enter. So here I got the revenue for the unique list of the app. But here I don't want to return the sum of revenue. I want to return the list of the app sort by the sum of revenue in descending order. For example, so I can come back here at the beginning of my formula and use sort by function. Sort by function, and the array gonna be the unique list of my app. So I'm going to use this formula, this function again, the unique function. Take this column, close my parentheses, comma. This is gonna be my by array parameter, the comma, and I'm going to use the descending order. So the -1, close my parentheses. So I got my app, the list of my app, sort by sum revenue in descending order. So I can check it if I use my sum if function again, and sum range is gonna be this. The criteria range is gonna be this column, and the criteria are gonna be this. And if I want my result to spill, I can use the hashtag. So close my parentheses, and I got the result I want. Just format this like so. I can see the archive is the first one in terms of sum of revenue, followed by Aviatar, Biden, Twister, Blend, and so on. So I can turn this formula in a Lambda function and create my own function to use it in other dataset. For example, here I can go back in the beginning of my function, and I'm going to put Lambda here. Lambda. So here we have to think. We have two cell reference here. We have C4 to C2020 22 and D4 to D2020 22 actually. So we have two cell reference here. This one, and this is the same like the first one. So I have to create two parameters here. So I can give a name I want it. For example, for the first parameter, if I put range, and the second one, I'm going to put num. And for the calculation, I just have to replace the cell reference with my new parameter. For example, can come here. This is the range parameter. So put range. This is the num parameter, and this is the range parameter, and this one as well. And I can hit enter. I have to close. Yes, it's not gonna work. And if I want this to work, I have to go at the end of my formula, open the parentheses, and the first one is my range parameter. I can select this, comma, the second parameter is the revenue column, and I can close my parentheses, and I got the same result. And I'm going to turn it in a function. So I'm going to copy this formula, go to formula tab, name manager, and I'm going to create a new defined name. So here I give a name to my function. If I use sort by range, for example, and passed my formula here, hit OK, close this box. I can delete this. And if I go back here, and I can use my sort by range function. I have two parameters. The first one is the range, and I can use the app column. The second parameter is the revenue. Close my parentheses, and I got the same result. And the advantage of this is I don't have to use the app column. I can use other column. For example, I can come back here, sort by the range. I can use the region column. The name, I can use the revenue column. And this is gonna give me a result. If I want to test it, to check it if I given the correct, can use sum if. The sum range is gonna be the column. The criteria range is gonna be the region, and the criteria itself gonna be this, and the hashtag to make it speed. Close my parentheses, and I got the result. So Australia is the first region, followed by Asia, North America, Europe, and South America. I can even use the division column. If I come back here, sort by range, can select this, comma, the name I'm going to use this, the revenue column, hit enter. So here we just have two categories, GM and productivity. So this is another example of using Lambda function. So now we are going to see how Lambda function get interesting. For example, here I have a data set, but in this data set we have some error. For example, here I have a list of a company, but the name is writing with some error. For example, this is Microsoft, but the name is not correctly right. This is NVIDIA. This is Apple. We write with some error. This should be Square. This is Microsoft. This should be Google. This should be Google. This should be right Netflix, and so on. So here I make a list of the error with the right name. For example, I'm going to tell my function, whenever you find NFLX, you have to correct it with Netflix. If you find this, correct it with Google. If you find this, I want to correct it with Microsoft. If you find this, correct it with NVIDIA. And if you find this, correct it with Square. So this is the recursive Lambda function. For example, before doing the function itself, let's test with some function. For example, if I use substitute here, substitute use three parameter, the text function, the text parameter. For example, if I take this for the text, and the old text gonna be this, no, this. The new text gonna be this, the after. I close my parentheses. I don't get the result I wanted. So if I make my function again, substitute, and I'm going to use the result of my previous formula. For example, here, this is gonna be my text. The old text is gonna be this. I'm going to one row down. So I move one row down. So as 3, the old text gonna be this. The new text gonna be this. Close my parentheses. I don't get the result I wanted. I continues my formula, substitute again. using the result of my previous formula. This is gonna be my text. The old text gonna be this. So I'm getting one row down again. The new text gonna be this. Close my parentheses, and I get my text correct. So this is how the recursive lambda gonna behave. So it iterates in your data set until you find the right text. And like in VBA, you have to have a exit strategy. So I'm going to tell my function, whenever you find a empty row, you have to leave the function. So if you don't put the exit strategy, your function never gonna work. So I'm going to write my lambda function here. So put lambda. Let's remember in the substitute function we have three parameters. So in my lambda function I have to put those three. So if I come back here, I put my lambda function. I'm going to use T like text for my first parameter. The before text I'm going to use B, and after text I'm going to use E. And here I'm going to test if, for example, the B is the before text. So if B equal to empty, I want lambda function to return the text, the original text. So I put T here. Otherwise, I'm going to, like I make the demonstration here, you have to use the result of the previous formula. So it's like I'm going to use lambda inside lambda. For example, when I'm going to finish my lambda formula, I'm going to give it this name. For example, replace text. So it's like I'm using the lambda function inside lambda function. Replace text, and I'm going to use, and if you remember, we have three parameters. So we're gonna use the substitute here. So we're going to substitute text. The old text gonna be the before text. The new text gonna be the A. And close my parentheses. This is for the substitute. And like I'm doing here, every time I have to go one row down. So I'm going to use the offset here. Offset function. Let go alt enter. Offset. The offset, the reference is going to be the before text. So if I'm here, I'm going to I want to go to one row down. So I'm starting with the B. The B is the before text, and I want to go one row down and stay in the same column. So for the column reference, I'm going to put 0. Close the parentheses for the before text. If I go one row down here for the before text, I want to do the same for the after text. So I'm going to put another offset here. The reference is going to be the E, the after text. I want to go one row down, stay in the same column, close my parentheses for the offset. So I can, for example, this is going to be my lambda function. So the lambda function have 3 parameters. This is going to be the first one, the second, and this is gonna be the third one. And I can close my parentheses for the replace, and close my parentheses for the if function, and close my parentheses for lambda function. And I can hit enter. I'm missing one. Yes, I forgot to put the comma here, so it's not gonna work, and I have to put it in the define name. So I'm going to copy this and place it, go to formula tab, name manager, and make a new define range. For example, here I'm going to use, you have to use the same name you give here, replace text. So I'm going to make the replace text and paste my formula here and close, and let's test this. So this is the column I want to correct. So I can come here. For example, I'm going to make correct company name. What I'm doing, company. For example, here I'm going to write my function here. So the function is called replace text. And you have to remember your parameter. We have 3 parameters in my Lambda function. The first one gonna be the text. The second one gonna be the before text. And I have to fix this cell, because every time I want the function to go to start looking at this cell. So I'm going to fix it. Let's go back and start again. Okay, this going to fix it with F4, and the after text gonna be this. Fix this cell again, close my parentheses, and hit enter. Okay, I just have to this is not the right. Okay. So before, this company name was right with error. So with my Lambda function, it helped me to correct the name for NVIDIA become NVIDIA. The apple that right with mistake here is get correct here. So everything is correct. You can see. And if I come back here in put, for example, again, Google with this, I got the same result here. So this is the recursive Lambda. It can be helpful if you want to clean your data. So let's move on and see some helper function. So here we got 5 helper functions that we can see, we are going to see together, and those functions can be helpful. We're gonna see the omitted function, the by row function, the by column function, the scan function, and reduce function. Let me, for example, the omitted function will help you to check whether the value in the Lambda is missing and return true or false. For example, I'm going to create a simple Lambda function here. For example, here I can use a simple formula. For example, we have revenue for 2022 and revenue for 2021. And if we want to compute the percentage change between these 2 years, we can use a simple formula. For example, D5 divided by DC5 minus 1. This is simple formula, but we can turn it in a function. For example, I can come back here and write my lambda function. For example, I can use, for example, n here. Let's start with star n, and the calculation gonna be n divided by star minus 1. Close my parentheses. It's gonna work. I have to open my parentheses and make the cell reference. So I have to begin with the star parameter, comma the n parameter. Close my parentheses. I got the same result. So I can go back. I'm going to turn it in a function, so I can copy this. Go to Formula tab, Name Manager, and define a new function. Change. I don't know. I'm going to use just this percentage and paste my formula here. I can close this tab, come back here, use my new function. The first parameter is the star function and n by n, and I got the same result. So the omitted function help you. For example, if I come here and, for example, forgot to put the n parameter, Excel gonna notice me that I'm missing one parameter. This is where you can use the omitted function. For example, here I'm going to create the same function but putting the omitted function inside. For example, I can come back here and use the lambda function. Okay. So lambda function, I can use the same parameter. I begin with star. That's gonna be my first parameter. The second parameter gonna be n. I have to make some tests here. So I'm going to use the if function. Okay, what I'm doing. So I'm going to use the if function. If the logical test. So I'm going to test if I'm missing the two parameters first, and then if I'm missing the first one, I'm missing the second one. So I'm going to use the n function, and now we use my new function omitted. If I omitted the star parameter, close my parentheses, or if I omitted also the n parameter, I want Excel to tell me what, comma, I want Excel to tell me, please enter star and n. Close my parentheses, and I'm going to do a second logical test. So I'm going to see if the user omitted to put, for example, just the start parameter. So if you omitted start parameter, I want Excel to tell me, please enter star. Or if the user omitted to put the end parameter, I want Excel to tell me, please enter n. So if we got the two parameters put by the user, for example, if it is true, I want Excel to make the calculation. So in this time, I'm going to make n divided by star minus 1. I can close my parentheses for the if function, close for the lambda function, and hit enter. It's not gonna work because I have to put the cell reference. So I can come at the end of my formula and open parentheses, and the first parameter is gonna be the star. The second one is gonna be the n parameter, and I close my parentheses, hit enter, and I got the same result. So I'm going to turn it in a function. So I can come back here and copy this formula. Go to my name manager and define a new name. For example, change, for example, person change with not. And past my formula here, I can put a note here and click OK. Close this box. If I come here and we are going to test it, percentage, if not, the first parameter is going to be the star. If I put star and omit it to put the n, for example, parameter, Excel going to tell me, please enter n. If I omitted both star and n parameter, Excel going to tell me, please enter star and n. If I put just the n parameter and omitted to put the star parameter, Excel going to tell me, please enter star. If I put both star and n parameter, Excel going to be the calculation for me. So I have it. So this helper function is used inside Lambda function, but the rest of the helper function, Lambda is used inside those functions. For example, we are going to see the by row function and the by column function. The by row function can help you to make, for example, I have an example here. The product and amounts, and we have some sets here. And if I want to know the sum by row here, for example, I want to know the sum by January, the sum of February, and the sum of March, for example, I can use a simple formula here. And for example, I can use just sum. If I use sum and just referencing here, I can get this, and for example, it is the same result. But if I want to make things more interesting, I can use the by-row function. So I'm going to use by-row function here instead of using just sum function. So the by-row function, the first argument gonna be the row. So that gonna be my data set. For I select all my data set and comma, and I have to use a function here. And this function is the lambda function here. And here we don't have to put this lambda function inside the defined name. We just use them here inside this function. But lambda, it needs a parameter. Here we just have one cell reference. It is this, my data set. So I can use this just one parameter here. For example, I give p like the name of my parameter, and I'm going to make some calculation. So I want to make the sum of the range. So sum of p, close my parentheses for the sum function, close my parentheses for by-row function, and hit enter. I have to close. Yeah. So the result just spilled for me. So I don't even have to copy my formula down. Just give me the sum of by-row. So this formula is going by-row, and giving me the sum of each row. And the by column work like by-row, but instead it's going by column and giving me the total for each column. For example, here, if I want to know the sum of the for each product, for example, Accord, Aviatar, Biden, Twister, and Pirino, it can use the by column here. By column, the order gonna be this, and here I have to put my lambda function. The parameter gonna be what? I can use anything I wanted. For example, if I'm using key, like my parameter, and sum of key, close my parentheses for the sum, close my parentheses for lambda function, close my parentheses for the by column function, and hit enter. It's gonna spell for me, so giving me the total for each row. This is the by row and by column function. So another helper function gonna be the scan function. The scan function can help us to make a running total. For example, here we have the cell by month. We have the cell for January, February, March, April, May, and June. For example, if we want to compute the running total, we can use the scan function. For example, here, I'm going to put my scan function here. Scan function, the initial value, I'm going to put 0. You have to start with 0. The row is gonna be my cell column, and the function, I'm going to use lambda here. And here we have two parameters. The first one gonna be the starting point. It's gonna be, for example, I can put any name I wanted. For example, if I put star, and the second parameter, I can put anything I want. What I'm going to put, let's just put as for example, and I'm going to do star plus as, and close my lambda function, close my scan function, and I got the result. So for the January, taking just January. If I go down to February, it's gonna take this one, this sum, and add it to this. That's gonna give it. And if I go to March, it's gonna take this, add to 4,000, 40,000. That's gonna give me this, and so on. And the reduce function is giving us just the final result. The final result is I think 214,900. So if I use the reduce function here, it's gonna give me just the final result. So the initial value gonna be 0 as the scan function. The array gonna be this, and the function gonna be lambda. And I can put any name I want it, for example, F as, and the calculation gonna be F plus as. Close my parentheses for lambda function, close my parentheses for reduce function, and giving me just the final result. I can do this like this. And we can do the same for multiplication, but I don't think this is helpful. For example, here, if I want to use the scan function again here, but this time I'm going to do some multiplication. So the initial value here, we have to put 1 because we are using multiplication here. If you start with 0, you don't gonna have a result because 0 times any number gonna give you 0. So I'm going to start with 1 here. The array gonna be this, and the function gonna be lambda. And my parameter, I'm gonna go S, and for example D. Doesn't matter, you can give any name you want it. So I'm gonna put S time D. Close my parentheses for lambda function, close my parentheses for scan function, and hit enter. So it's giving me the same thing. For example, here it take 12 times 8, gonna be give me this, and if we got here, it's gonna take 5 times 96, gonna be give me this, and so on. So this is lambda function and the helper function that we can use in Excel to get some interesting result and take some really control in Excel, because we can create any function we want and use it in any sheet we want. So this is lambda function, and I think we are at the end of my presentation. If you have any question, you can ask it.
Yes, Salif, thank you so much for your presentation. So are there
Thank you.
any questions?
Yes. Okay.
I think it was echoing. Okay. So are there any questions? At the moment, there are actually no questions. I think the formula is a bit new. Just recent. Everybody at the moment just recently got it. So it may take a bit of getting to know it for everybody that was not in the beta channel.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So somebody asks, how do you get the Lambda? How do you get the function, Gabriel?
How do we get the lambda function?
Function, yes.
To have the lambda function, you have to have the Microsoft Office
365.
right, 365. And I don't think you have to get it from the insider.
So no, at the moment they have
By the moment it is,
no, at the moment everybody has it. They released it it has
you
been a
just
week
have
now.
to, okay.
But you have to have 365 for it to have Lambda function. I don't know about the others, but I know I didn't have Lambda, but I got it like a week ago. Now I have it at the moment.
Okay.
But I don't know about the
I got
others.
another
That question.
question. What about the
So
new advanced formula editor in Excel? I'm not, for me, I don't know this function yet, but I will look at it after this.
close.
Yeah.
So I was asking, can you upgrade from the 360 to 365? Definitely.
Yeah, it's always been 365.
Yes, in 365.
Yeah, it's just been the normal
365.
And the question from Gary about the new advanced, like
Let it all.
something that is in preview. I haven't even tried it. So,
Yeah, me also. I never tried it yet, so maybe after this we have to try this. I don't know about it yet.
come show us how to use it. See, you are very good with explaining, so it will be better to learn it from you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. It's been a very wonderful session. You know, when Ifeanyi said, "Oh, we have Salif from Morocco," I was like, you should also have mentioned that you're originally a francophone.
Exactly.
So some of what you pronounce, the letter K and letter H, those who do not speak French, they will be like, "Hey, this is a new way of saying it." I'm like, I'm still trying to learn French, and I know it's not a lot. It's not a small work you've done to be able to even take us through this for a whole 1 hour. Wonderful case studies. So someone is asking about the Excel.
So shit. Yes, he shared the Excel sheet with me, so I will share it in the group. The only problem, at the moment, I don't really have a public link where I share everything.
It's better if they join the meetup group, right? So we send. I think it's better we always send out through the meetup group. So maybe I'll post the meetup group link so that once Salif shares it with us, then everybody. Merci beaucoup, Salif. So once we'll
share the group.
That one.
Yeah, so maybe within the week, we'll send an email that has a link to the file.
Everybody in that meetup group. So let me quickly grab the link for the meetup group and share, so that will be one place that everybody is sure that once they are a member of, they will get whatever resource presenters give us.
Yeah.
We'll share it very
So just join the link, and within the week you'll get a mail with the link to the page and the videos.
So I think
so that's
I still have one question.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, so when are we going to have you again?
Oh, it's coming next month.
Awesome.
Power BI.
Yeah.
I think it's presenting. I can't remember the topic, but I know it's coming from Power BI. It's going to teach us about. Let me see if I can find it and send a RSVP link.
Yes. This is next month or April.
Let me check. I think it's.
Okay,
it's April. It's April. April. Yeah, sorry.
April. Okay.
Yeah, so it's doing data journey with Power Query and versus Acces. So this is a link you can RSVP for this session as well.
I think we can close, right?
Yeah,
what about the backlink? So people want to give us feedback. Special thanks to everyone who joined us today. I see a lot of big people in the house today. Monsieur Anthony, Alan. That was it. That was also Bob Omlas for some time. I think maybe he's had to drop off. And to everyone, thank you very, very much for joining.
Yes. Thank you so much for
Special
that.
thanks to our presenter. He always does wonderful sessions. And I'm sure as many more opportunities that we're able to get with him, you will always benefit. So thank you to everyone. Then, if anything we've missed or should I end the session?
No, nothing. I've sent the feedback link, so you can drop any feedbacks, anybody you would like to see, or a topic you would like to be presented on. You can also drop it all on the feedback form.
So ending the session now. Merci beaucoup à tous. Merci mille fois Salif.
So thank you, everybody.
I thank you, and it was a great pleasure.
So,